Tires are rolling for the finale at Kansas Speedway, but a champion has already been crowned in the 52 team. Ken Schrader Racing, his second championship as a car owner, but he really celebrates this one with Austin Theriault winning it with a 400-point advantage going into the finale. And that's young Zane Smith, who won the General Tire Pole Award today, his second pole of the season, so he wins the $10,000 bonus because he had a tiebreaker on Brandon Jones with more starts, picking him that General Tire Pole Award. All right, let's find out how they're going to line up. Phil and Ty, let's set the grid.
Yeah, a couple teammates up here in row number one, Zane Smith with a pole and Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, Ty Majeski, you know I like that name. He's been really strong all year, so looking forward to watching him tonight.
Great point battle for the rookie. Gus Dean involved in that.
Yeah, Dalton Sargent and Michael Self. I raced a little bit with Michael Self out west. Looking forward to seeing him have a good night, too.
There's our champion back on row number 5, Austin Theriault. There's Cole Rouse making his second start here in the ARCA Series.
We got Brett Holmes in the 23 and Cody Rodabaugh in the 7 over row 7.
Justin Fontaine, big wreck at Daytona early this year, back running strong.
Natalie Decker in row 10. I know a lot of people are excited to see her tonight. She's going full-time racing in the ARC Series next year.
Kevin Hinkle is from Kansas, getting a start here tonight. And we're also going to have 4 really good looks, Phil, from inside the cockpit tonight.
Yeah, this is the UFC gym on board for Riley Herbst. He's in the NOS Energy Drink Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, starting all the way back in 16th. But remember, he was a winner earlier this year in Pocono.
Here's the number 52 of our champion, Austin Theriault, with the General Tire Ford on board. You know he's excited in there tonight, going to try to finish out this season strong.
Also going to ride along with Michael Self. Seems like Michael Self always finishes in the top 5 when he runs an ARCA race. He's won the last 2 West Series races. He's driving the Sinclair Oil on board, and he starts from the 8th spot.
And in the 32, we have Gus Dean, the leader of the rookie battle tonight in the Gree Cooling Products Toyota.
All right, we've heard from Jim Trado already. Let's bring in our second pit reporter for some final thoughts before we go green in. Here's Heather DeVoe.
Thank you, Kevin. As Ty Dillon already mentioned, big news out of the Venturini Motorsports camp is that the number 25 of Natalie Decker will be full-time next season. When I asked her what her first thought was when she found out, she just got a big grin on her face and told me, I get to race Daytona. As far as tonight goes, this is her first start here at Kansas, and she said she just went over her race at Kentucky with her crew chief, watched a lot of film, and spent 150 laps in the Toyota simulator to get ready for tonight. She rolls off 19th. Jim, what you got?
Heather starting 7th is Dalton Sargent. All but secured 2nd in the point standings this year, but he said he told me he has some unfinished business here at Kansas Speedway. 1 year ago with a different team, he was leading the race with 25 laps to go, and something happened electronically to that race car. He said, I want to end this season on a high note. He has his sights set on racing in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series next year. This young man out of Boca Raton, Florida is here to do one thing, and it's win here for the Cunningham Motorsports team, who 1 year ago celebrated a championship by winning the race with their driver, Chase Briscoe.
Well, Jim, Phil mentioned that Riley Herbst didn't have the qualifying that he would like starting in 16th. One of the winners this season is going to have even more work to do. They had to change a starter after qualifying, so he's all the way at the back. They're going to go this time down on the bottom side. 18-year-old Zane Smith on the top side. Sheldon Creed is just 20 years old. Youngsters in row 2, Ty Majeski in the black car on the bottom side. Justin Haley, the white car, is on the top side. Gus Dean, Shane Lee, Dalton Sargent, Michael Self through row number 4. For the final time in 2017, it's time to go racing with ARCA. We're green. And Majeski goes down to the bottom below the white line, trying to grab the lead. But from the top side, it's Sheldon Creed that will grab the points.
Really aggressive move by the 99 of Majeski. He lost an engine early on in practice. Only got about 8 laps of practice in.
Yeah, that car was really fast in practice, and he's not wanting to waste much time getting it out front.
Look at Zane Smith back there in the 41. He lost quite a few spots. He's already dropped to about 5th position.
Justin Haley now has jumped up into the 2nd spot. Remember, Justin, he's won his 2 previous ARCA starts this year, going for 3 in a row this year and 4 overall.
See the sparks flying on the bottom of the 41.
I think what's interesting about this race tonight is there's a lot of strong cars in this field that have an opportunity to win. All the cars in the top 10 right now really have an opportunity. When you watch practice and watch the lap times, it's going to be a great night and a great opportunity for somebody to get a win.
How much more aggressive, Ty, is everyone in this final race of the season trying to close it out and go into the winter with a win?
Everybody wants to go in the offseason with some momentum, so everybody's going to give it everything they have tonight. You see those sparks in the 41 car. That's why everything looks cooler at night and in racing. So I know all the drivers like to see that. But yeah, everybody wants to end the year with a positive note, so everybody's going to be trying a little bit harder to get that win.
Nice move by the 77 of Dalton Sargent to grab that 4th spot.
And Creed has opened it up a little bit. And he's been in position to win 2 or 3 times in his limited starts. 10 starts this season. He's finished 2nd at DeCoin, 3rd a couple of different times at Iowa, including Kentucky. He had a chance to win that race.
Yeah, he's only had 2 starts outside the top 10 this season in the ARCA series.
Riley Herbst's already charging through the field from having to start all the way in the back, and you know he really wants to get that Rookie of the Year title, so he's got his eyes set on that 32.
Brand new car for Gus Dean here for the Green Cooling Products Toyota.
That's going to be a really fun race to keep up with tonight. Those guys are going to give it all they have, and you know what? I got a feeling those two might be battling for the lead too, as hard as they're going to push each other.
On board with Gus Dean. He's running in 10th position right now, so that's the champ, Austin Theriault, in the white paint scheme tonight with the Federated Auto Parts paint scheme. Here's the battle for 2nd. Majeski trying to go around the outside. Haley trying to hang on down on the bottom, way down on the bottom.
Yes, as our Ty was mentioning, Ty Majeski very, very strong in practice. Makes the move around the outside of Haley. Now he has his sights set on Sheldon Creed.
There have been several races this season that we thought Majeski, and he's only started 5 times, but we thought, well, he's maybe got the best chance or at least a real good chance. So he's been knocking on the door.
Ran a couple Xfinity races for Roush Fenway this year. Did a nice job in those races as well.
Now we can see the pole sitter Zane Smith working on Dalton Sargent for 4th position. What do you know on the 41, Jim?
Kevin, the driver, had a moment at the start of the race. He's back to 5th position. They're telling him to settle in. He said, my car is super, super tight on exit. Now trying to find a balance here, changing his lines in the 41 machine, the Icon Vehicle Dynamics machine of Zane Smith. And there he gets a little bit loose again. A handful for our pole sitter after qualifying this afternoon. Limited adjustments allowed on these cars, and Smith not quite where he wants to get it, obviously.
That was quite the moment for Zane as he was going around the outside of a lap car.
Yeah, it was, man. He's gonna start. Looks like he's actually gonna get loose going around this outside of this lap car. Good save on his part. It's interesting, you know, Zane started on the front row. This is a development series, and as you go up in the ranks in racing, you learn a little bit about how to set up your car in qualifying to also have a successful race in these races that are impounded. So maybe he's just filling that out a little bit right now. He says his car's tight. I'm sure he's anxious to get on pit road and make some adjustments to that 41.
It's very similar to the Xfinity and the Truck Series, where there is an impound after qualifying. Very minor adjustments you're able to make after qualifying prior to the race.
That's what makes this ARCA series so strong and such a great development series, is having to go through the same things that you do in the next level.
Well, after that little wiggle, Zane Smith is still challenging Dalton Sargent for 4th. And up front, it's Sheldon Creed. Welcome back to Kansas Speedway. I'm Kevin Lee with Phil Parsons. Ty Dillon is our special guest in the booth tonight. Jim Trado and Heather DeBow on pit road, and a battle starting to heat up for the lead. Sheldon Creed took the lead in quarter number 2 of the first lap. Ty Majeski got 1 spot back and looked, Phil, like he was going to challenge him there for a little bit for the lead.
Yeah, he ran a couple tenths of a second faster that last lap. Looks like he may have lost a little bit of ground on this lap. Looks like maybe once he got a little bit close, maybe kind of lost the front end a little bit with that 99 car.
Yeah, it's always interesting. When you're the leader, you don't really have anything to judge off of. So when that guy gets behind you, you're starting to constantly make adjustments as he's gaining ground on you. You can see him getting bigger and bigger in that rearview mirror. So we'll see what kind of adjustments Sheldon Creed makes here, see if he can keep Ty Majeski behind him. He's definitely putting some pressure on. And you know what's cool? These guys are driving hard all through the field tonight.
Those are teammates there. Shane Lee in the 22. Dalton Sargent in the 77 working around the lap car of Brad Smith. how much of an advantage is it here if you do work together?
Well, I don't know if you want to work together like they are right now. That's not necessarily what you want to do, but you know, it is an advantage to have a teammate at any racetrack to bounce off ideas off each other, especially these guys are...
But not bounce off literally.
Yeah, not off bumpers, just information. So these guys are obviously running right around the same spot on the racetrack, so those cars are obviously set up very similar, and we'll see if they give each other a little bit of a teammate benefit of the doubt here.
I was talking to Chad Bryant, crew chief for Dalton Sargent in the 77. He said they made a bunch of changes prior to qualifying and some more after qualifying, whatever they were allowed to, but they're going to lose that spot to his teammate Shane Lee.
At 6th, the Lee moves up to 6th position. Up front, Majeski is still tracking Sheldon Creed as they work their way through lap traffic. And yellow on the track. And is it Justin Fontaine, the 33, that has a problem?
He's slow on the racetrack.
Yeah, it looks like he was smoking, but I don't see any smoke coming out now.
So if he had an issue, it's not apparent right now. Oh.
That kind of looks like that.
I think we found the issue.
He tore up the Geico Restart Zone logo.
That's my guys. Can't be tearing up the Geico.
You
Side.
don't have to go back down there and repaint that after this race, will you?
I bet they got insurance on that paint job. How about that?
Okay.
It's going to be a late night for me,
I
probably.
hate to tell you, that's part of the Geico deal, is to sweep that up.
I have a couple paint brushes, so.
Ty will be in the number 13 Geico Chevy in the Cup race, and in the number 3 Bass Pro Shop Chevy in the Xfinity race.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward. We got two strong cars. We didn't qualify really where we wanted to in the Cup race, but we always seem to race really strong. So I look forward to getting some laps in the car tomorrow, and hopefully getting a good strong run on Sunday.
I think pit road will remain closed this lap. It's a little bit early. We will complete 19 laps. These guys can go around 65 laps, something like that, on fuel, so they obviously could not make it the rest of the way if they stop now. But for the guys on the back part of the lead lap, come in, get some fuel at least, and make an adjustment, maybe try to make your car better.
Yeah, definitely. I think some of these guys are moving all over the racetrack, so they're going to ask their crew chief for a lot of adjustments to try to get their stuff better for the second half.
Caution number 1, stay with us. For the ARCA Racing Series finale, we're under our first caution. Justin Fontaine off track with a little spin, but stayed on the lead lap. And under the yellow, we saw some takers on pit road.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys took this opportunity to work on their cars. Several of the cars up front did not come down pit road, but I think it's a good call by those guys that maybe don't quite have the speed that Creed and Majeski have.
Yeah, being that these guys have a couple sets of tires, I think this is the best time for those guys to come down and pit. You never know how long this next caution is going to, before the next caution or opportunity you have to come down pit road. So these guys chose to strike while the iron is hot. Everybody in front of them, their cars are the worst that they're going to handle all night because they haven't made an adjustment yet. So I think it's a good call to come and put tires on.
And remember, it gives them 20 laps extra fuel, too. So if we get a long green flag run, they can run 20 laps farther than the guys that did not come down pit road.
That's definitely a great call on their part.
So Natalie Decker is going to get the free pass and also takes the opportunity to service the car. The top 6 did not pit. That's Creed, Majeski, Haley, Zane Smith, Holmes, and Travis Braden. Gus Dean was the first off pit road in 7th, followed by Finley, Sargent, Lee, and Davis. That's through the top 11. Austin Terrio is in 12th. Riley Herbst, 13th. Michael Self and Cole Rouse, the top 15. And not everybody took tires, right?
No, they didn't. Several. The 18 car took tires. Spencer Davis, the 55 car, took tires. But several of them just did fuel only and made some adjustments. Michael Self did not take tires. We were watching. They worked on the right front of that Sinclair car.
Yeah, not sure what they're working on there, but he obviously had some kind of issue. Didn't seem as strong as where he was in qualifying. I think what's interesting is Herbst was able to get tires and gain positions on the racetrack with the pitting. So he's already moving forward nice here.
Jim, here comes the 77 again.
Yeah, pit stop 1 was a major adjustment to fix the car. It was starting out loose on entry by lap 7 or 8, and then it got worse, and they're everywhere. They made major adjustments, but now crew chief Chad Bryant said we need to make more adjustments to this race car. A little concerned about the left rear now as well, getting a spring rubber packed in there as well. A full rubber going in the left rear to fix the condition for Dalton Sargent. looking for the victory. Might take a little longer than they thought to go forward. They've already changed the tires, now getting that rubber in the left rear on their second pit stop under this caution.
Well, if you're going to take a big swing at it and spend some time on pit road and lose track position, doing it early still gives you a chance. If that car is right, he will have time to make his way through the field. We've seen that on multiple occasions this year.
Definitely making a lengthy adjustment here and taking their time to hopefully get it right.
Here's Ty Majeski, the 99. Ty right now is running in the second spot. Let's see if maybe we can chat with him. Hey, Ty Majeski, Phil Parsons up in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
I got you loud and clear.
Thing looks pretty good early. Looks like you've made a couple runs on Sheldon Creed. Did you get a little bit tight when you got up to him?
Yeah, 10-4 as part of this ARCA racing game. Just get real tight when you get up behind them, but learn from it. I passed the 7-8 on the outside, so maybe we'll try and go out there and see if I can get around him here for the lead.
All right, buddy. Good luck. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, now he hopes that Sheldon Creed's team is not listening to our radio communication. And you can see a little bit of those colors down on the bottom. That's a peach color, if you will. We all know this is Breast Cancer, Breast Health Awareness Month. Well, they're going a little different hue, peach, for the wife of their crew chief, Matt Weber. That's Matt there, and that's his wife, Dana Grace, who is dealing with uterine cancer, and peach is the color that kind of represents that. So the team did this for her, and you can tell she was very honored.
Certainly has our best wishes in her battle.
So that's the paint scheme on that. We see a lot of pink, and breast cancer has affected almost everyone in some form or fashion. So a lot of the teams have added that to recognition with the only race in the month of October that the ARCA Racing Series will have. Half a lap and we'll go green again here after caution number 1. Sheldon Creed in that 12 United Rentals car on the top has led every lap. He started second, grabbed the lead in the first couple of corners. Ty Majeski running second. Zane Smith is running in third position. He is on the top side. He's going to be in fourth. Okay, so one scoring says third, but he is in fourth because he's on the top side, and that's Justin Haley officially in third on the bottom side.
See what these guys at the 55, I think he's the first one that came down pit road. Some of these guys that came down pit road are going to be the ones that are interesting to watch, see if they fly up through the field with these fresh tires.
Pace car is off. Creed on the top side gets to control the restart. The Trios car on the bottom, looking for a little bit of a push from Haley. Way up top. Here comes the 51 of Chad Finley trying to go, and they go 3 wide for a moment, and up front it's Majeski that gets around to grab the lead.
A little bit different rules here in the ARCA Series. You can go when the green flag comes out. I'm sure the ARCA officials would take a look at that 51 of Chad Finley. He got such a great start, they'll review that.
You definitely have to anticipate these starts, and I think Sheldon Creed was really hoping that he was the one that was going to control the start. He had a rough start there, so definitely shaking up the field here.
Well, Creed loses a few spots, but we know how fast he has been. Let's watch him try to make his way through. Down on the bottom side in that blue and yellow 23, that's Brett Holmes trying to pick up some positions.
Yeah, keep an eye on that 55. As Ty mentioned, he's the first guy with tires. He's making a move up towards the top 5. Austin Terrio, also one of those guys. They got tires on that caution, as well as the 77 of Dalton Sargent, who made a second pit stop. What a great start for him.
Yeah, I think sitting on pit road, Dalton Sargent, it gave him some time to think about what he wanted to do on this restart. He was shot out of a cannon 3 wide going into turn 1, and he's already back to where he started.
There's the champion, Austin Terrio, in the white 52. And let's go back and watch this restart again.
It's that 4th car in line, the white car on the outside. He's trying to anticipate the start. He cannot go before the leaders do or before the green flag comes out. Again, I'm sure the ARCA Racing officials would take a look at that, and it made it look worse when Sheldon Creed did not get a very good start.
Yeah, it looks like Sheldon Creed may have missed a shift there. If that's a legal move, I would be paying attention for the rest of the night. I'd want to be on the outside, and I would jump that start every single time if I was those guys.
Creed is working on Haley. That's Creed in the 12, dealing with Brad Smith, trying to get down to the bottom. Not a whole lot of room down there on Haley.
Great aggressive move by Sheldon Creed. We're hearing from the ARCA officials that they warned the 51 that it was close, but it was good. So he's fine.
So if I'm starting 4th on the last restart, you better believe I'm jumping to the outside. I'll take that one warning to win the race.
Now, here's the question. Does the warning go to everyone or just for him? Can you do what he did?
Hopefully just for him. Everyone else still has a warning to go.
Yep. That was somewhat of a veteran move there by Sheldon Creed, somebody who doesn't have a whole lot of experience on mile and a half, but he really packed some air on the left rear quarter panel of the second place car, Haley. That's something that you have to do in these races that are bigger track. You have to move the air around on somebody else to get them a little bit loose to be able to make a pass.
Look at the top 2 that have battled for the championship all year. Terrio in the white 52, the 77, big-time Ford of Dalton Sargent. They're going to work, and there's Zane Smith on the 41 is still mixing it up with them.
Terrio has made his way up to the 7th position. Spencer Davis, the 55 car with fresh tires, all the way up to the 4th spot.
He told me he was pretty happy with his car today. He said he felt like this track was a little bit like Michigan. Didn't race like a Kentucky. It felt more just a smaller version of Michigan.
I tell you what, this is one of the fastest racetracks, if not the fastest feeling racetrack in a race car that we go to. I was actually talking to Ricky Stenhouse today in the garage, and former ARCA racer himself. He said, man, this place is fast. And I told him, I said, man, I was going to say the exact same thing to you. I'm glad that you feel the same way. So definitely one of the fastest racetracks as far as feeling in the seat that you come to.
Pole speed was 180 miles per hour.
And 180 miles an hour average around this mile and a half track. And the Cup cars was, what, 188, 189, something like that, Ty?
Yeah, so it's very competitive, and these ARCA cars, you're getting about as much speed as you want to out of a race car around here in the ARCA series.
Smith and Finley. And Smith is going to get that spot. That's for 8th position. And we've been watching the champion, Austin Terrio. He's already wrapped that up, riding on board with him. How's his race going, Jim?
Well, the pit crew did their job. It's the same guys he's had over the wall for all 20 races this year. The number 52 machine for Austin Terrio now running 6th. He started back in 10th. The car was okay, but our crew chief, Donnie Richardson, told me after the stop they made a small air pressure adjustment to fix the tire condition. Just went up a little bit in the right rear on tire pressure. And Austin Terrio hasn't led a ton of laps this year. Believe it or not, he's run less than 20 in half of his victories this year. He led just the last lap at Road America, but this clean air means everything for this team. Terrio's happy right now, not saying a whole lot on the radio, but just a small adjustment for the 7-time winner this year.
Like he's done so many times this year, just stay within reach. And multiple times this year, he's won races we didn't think were going to be coming. Will this be number 8, or is it going to be someone new? Stay with us. ARCA from Kansas. We are zipping along in the ARCA finale from Kansas Speedway. Ty Majeski took the lead after our first caution on a restart on lap 24, and now has stretched it to over 2 seconds on Sheldon Creed. And then it's another 6 seconds or so back to Justin Haley and Spencer Davis. They continue to battle for 3rd position. That's been the best battle on the racetrack for a little while. Shane Lee's within range too there in 5th in the 22.
I like the way that 22 of Shane Lee looks. We saw him pass his teammate before that first caution flag. Now he's trying to chase down that 55 of Spencer Davis, Heather.
That's right, Spencer Davis is one of the drivers that's making his debut here at Kansas. But so far this season, he's shown some speed in the 7 starts that he's had, but he's been plagued by bad luck, so he's hoping to turn that around tonight. When I spoke to him about his goals for this evening, he said he is here to win, and his crew chief, Ryan, came over and said, well, we would like a top 5 as well. But right now, he's battling a little bit loose conditions, and he's fighting that by turning the fans on in traffic to tighten him up a bit.
Comes Zane Smith. Thank you, Heather, down on the bottom side, trying to grab some spots back. The pole sitter struggling in the very early moments of his car. You can see Smith from the onboard from Austin Terrio, who's going to try to go up to the high side and battle him. That's for 6th position.
Man, that looked pretty sketchy there, passing through lap traffic. The 22 of Shane Lee looks like he's one of the first ones that's gone up to the high side, and it's really suiting that 22 well, and he's making a lot of speed right now. So we'll see if the rest of the field reacts to this, if the spotters are up there communicating to the rest of the drivers in the field, telling what they're seeing with the 22, and it looks like Austin Terrio is starting to follow suit.
You said the top side of the racetrack has come in, Ty. It certainly has at the very top of the show. See, Justin Haley had to move a little bit out to the outside around the 34 of Mike Basham. A little bit of a look how close the 41 of Zane Smith gets to the 34 of Basham.
Yeah, you'd like to see the 34. Give him a little bit more room in that situation, but that's part of racing. You got to learn how to set yourself up to pass those lap cars and gain speed on the guys in front of you. And the guys who can usually do that the best, they end up in the front of the field.
Theriault and Zane Smith continue to battle. That's Michael Self in the Sinclair, number 28 on the top. And the NOS car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Riley Herbst, who had to start all the way in the back, has worked his way up now. That position is for 11th.
You know, we talked about the rookie battle, the great rookie battle we have between Riley Herbst and Gus Dean. Right now, Riley Herbst, by running up in the 12th spot, has the advantage over Gus Dean. Riley came in on that pit stop, put 4 tires on. Gus Dean, I think, did fuel only. And Gus Dean now was falling back to the 16th position. If the race would end right now, Riley Herbst would be our champion, Rookie of the Year for the ARCA Series.
That's Cody Robaugh. This time I think we've seen him in the number 7 Grant County Mulch Chevrolet.
As we continue to get the green flag run, these guys that came on and put tires, that strategy and plan is getting better and better for them, because the longer this green flag goes, the less these guys have the opportunity to use that second set of tires. So those guys are hoping this goes out green. Everybody has to do a green flag pit stop, puts everybody on the same equal tires.
Cody moved away up the racetrack. He's one of the guys running about as high on the racetrack as any of them.
Shane Lee looking to pass Spencer Davis here on the outside. He's really got that top going. It's funny, when you're running the bottom, sometimes your car might not be handling the way you want it to, and you just can't figure it out. Then all of a sudden, you feel something up in the top. You feel a little more grip. You go a little higher. You feel a little more grip. You go a little higher. And all of a sudden, you have one of the best cars on the field. It's just how it works when you have a racetrack that has such a wide groove like here at Kansas Speedway. And that's why drivers love to see a racy racetrack. This is what you call a racy racetrack.
Oh, look at that. Zane Smith going almost all the way down to the grass, trying to take the shortcut around.
Yeah, Shane was able to make that high move work on the 55 of Spencer Davis. Now Zane Smith is trying to grab that third spot back, excuse me.
And that's 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there in the racetrack. Meanwhile, the top 2 have not pitted yet. Majeski and Creed, they're good for another maybe even 20 laps or so. Plus, they had the caution lap, so nothing urgent at this point. Smith also has not pitted inside the top 4. We've got a good one going here at Kansas Speedway. Stay with us. Plenty more to come in the ARCA Racing Series.
Gus Dean, number 32, 3 wide. Look at this.
Gus Dean has top 10 finishes in his last 9 races here in the series.
What a run by Riley Herbst to close in to make the battle out of it for the win.
Where did he come from? Man, Herbst is on the move.
Well, the only championship within the championship not decided is the Scott Rookie Challenge, and it is going down to the wire. Just 2 points in a different type of scoring system separates Gus Dean and Riley Herbst going into this race.
Yeah, it's really simple for Gus Dean. Just finish ahead of Riley Herbst. The problem is, right now he's not running ahead of Riley Herbst because Riley Herbst put 4 tires on that pit stop. Gus Dean did fuel only, so this thing is going to go right down to the wire. It's a little bit more complicated for Riley Herbst. He holds the tiebreaker, but he has to finish in the top 5 of the rookies in this race, because the rookies have their own point battle among themselves in each individual race.
They get drops, so if he's outside the top 5, this would be one of the drops, so that's why he has to be in the top 5. Herbst does, and finish ahead of Dean. So yeah, as you said, it's not so simple as a head-to-head battle. There's Travis Braden, and we thought we saw during the commercial break somebody rub the fence a little bit. Jim, what do you know?
Yeah, they wanted to take no precautions. Actually, he said he didn't feel it going down, but they wanted to make sure nothing was rubbing at these high speeds. Braden came down for this Don Fico number 27 machine, his 3rd guest drive, if you will. After a strong performance, this machine has been fast. This driver knows how to finish up front. He just won the prelude to the Winchester 400, finished 2nd there. So when it comes to speed and lap counts, they want to make sure that car is just right.
The champion is now into the wall. Braden brushed it. Theriault has hit it much harder. Austin Theriault.
And it looks like possibly a tire went down after this long run. And
yeah, maybe a right front tire, because. But remember, Theriault put tires on that first stop back on lap number 20. But what a season nonetheless. You see Donnie Richardson, the crew chief, the Clemetic crew chief of the year, up on top of the box. But even though this is not going to necessarily be the finish they wanted, an outstanding season for this entire race team.
Donnie has worked in so many different series, high-level series for big-time drivers, but this is his first championship.
Yeah.
Big time for him. And unfortunately, it's not going to finish the way he wanted, but the championship is still in hand. That's why you score the points when you can. So Theriault is unbuckling right now. Let's see if we can tell what happened.
Right side of your screen, as Ty said, that's probably going to have a look like a right front tire is going to go down. Yeah, you can see the sparks.
Yep.
I
That's
think without
usually a sway bar
question.
arm dragging from the tire going flat. That's a tough hit here at Kansas in the middle of 1 and 2. And only good thing about that is he is the champion. Not too many times do you get to blow a tire in the final race and still be the champion. So, you know, unfortunately, it looks like his night's going to come to an end. But he's still the champion tonight.
You can see the brake rotor, pieces of the brake rotor flying out from under the car too. Normally that happens a lot when you hit the wall like that. But a tough end for the season for Austin Theriault, but nonetheless a great season.
Yep, I'm sure he'll get checked out by the medical center and he'll go and find his team and they'll probably start celebrating.
And I talked with Ken Schrader today about Austin Theriault and what he saw from him. He said, you know, this deal really came together at Indianapolis, or at least started last year at the PRI show. I met with Austin, and after he walked away, my wife said, who was that? And he said, that young man can make us very happy by the end of next season. And he has. Ken celebrating a championship with Austin Theriault. All right, under yellow, and here comes the leader, Ty Majeski down pit road. Sheldon Creed is following him. Heather starts first.
Ty Majeski here on the top box. He came in and he said that he is having to baby the right front of the car right now, and he said he is tight all around. So they actually took a pound out of the left side tires. They're going to do 4 tires and an adjustment here for the 99. Jim?
Pit stop opportunity comes at the perfect time for the car in the middle of your screen. The 41 Toyota of Zane Smith, his third drive for MDM Motorsports. Jamie Jones, the crew chief, calling for just a small tire pressure adjustment. Same for the number 12 of Sheldon Creed. This car has been fast. This driver knows he loves these big ovals, and Creed is down and away with his 4-tire change in car 12 as well.
Majeski easily wins the race off pit road. Sheldon Creed is going to come out second. I think that's Shane Lee that's going to get out in third position. Then it's Zane Smith, Spencer Davis after that. So caution number 2, restart coming up. His car's out tonight, but Ken Schrader is still a champion in 2017 in ARCA. Presented by Menards, and time to check out the Protect Plus mid-race recap. Sheldon Creed grabbed the lead early on. On the first restart of the race, Ty Majeski went to the front. He has stayed there, and he also won the race just a moment ago off pit road. So the only 2 leaders, Majeski has led 35, Creed has led 24. We've had 2 cautions, the most recent for the champion. It was official when he took to the track today. We'll celebrate him at the end of the race, but Austin Theriault looked like he lost a tire and made contact with the right side exit turn 2. He is out of the car, looks fine. We will hear from him a little later on tonight. And the free pass goes to Gus Dean. You can see him in the black and pink, number 32. And that's important for the Scott Rookie Challenge.
Yeah, big break for Gus Dean. Remember, he didn't put tires on that first round of pit stops. Just got lapped before the caution came out. Fortunately was the first non-lead lap car in line, so he got the free pass and he put tires on.
Yeah, what's interesting is Riley Herbst came in and got his second set of tires. Now, if they go green for their 15, 20, 30 laps, Gus Dean has another set of tires that he can put on and then have the advantage on Riley, just like you know, the opposite situation in the previous run.
So Riley Herbst has gone all the way from the back up to 7th position now, Heather.
That's right, Kevin. And one thing they might have to worry about is shortly after the 52 hit the wall, something metal came across the track, and Riley Herbst nailed it with the left front of the nose of the car. So they also had to fix that on that pit stop. So we'll keep an eye on the 18 to make sure that's okay. So far over the radio, they haven't had any issues, but it's definitely going to be, this rookie battle is going to come right down to the wire between him and the Dean.
And now Herbst is in the top 5 among those running for the Rookie Challenge. So at the moment, he would be in position to take that Scott bonus.
I'm interested to see what Shane Lee does now that he's up to 3rd. I think he can make this a 3-way battle for the lead, the way he had that top running. The leaders were very checked out during that run. They were both running the bottom line. he might be able to surprise him with how well that top has come in.
Yeah, as we watched Dalton Sargent, Shane Lee's teammate, come back down pit road, I was watching the lap times, and once he got to the third spot, then his lap times were the same as the leaders. Jim, what's going on with that 77?
Still not happy with the left rear. They're going to try to work on the adjustment they made in the left rear spring. You see them pulling off there a piece of material. I'll try to find out exactly what they pulled away. Might have run over some debris that stayed in the fender well. So Sargent losing major track position, but to the benefit of those guys, their car's handling much better at that extended 2-pit stop in the last caution break.
We saw him go from the back up to close to the front again during the last stint. We'll see what he has this time around. One more lap under caution, then we'll get back going. So that gives us a chance to sneak away for just a moment. Then we'll start racing again. The season finale from Kansas Speedway in the ARCA Racing Series. Welcome back to Kansas Speedway for the ARCA Racing Series 150, the season finale, and what's been a fantastic 2017. I'm Kevin Lee. Thanks for joining us. Ty Dillon is our special guest in the booth. Tonight, he won his very first ARCA race back here in 2010. Phil Parsons is here, Heather DeBow and Jim Trado on pit road. There's some concern about the 18, Riley Herbst, running over something.
Yeah, this is after the 52. Boston Terrio got into the wall, and obviously we saw some brake parts flying on the racetrack. And you saw the little bit of dust or whatever. Then there was a piece of something on the right side of your screen. So I think he definitely probably ran over a piece of brake rotor.
Yeah, that'll definitely make you nervous when you know you hit something, but you're not sure where you hit it. If you hit it with one of those tires, definitely a piece of brake rotor could chunk a hole in the tire. But by now, this caution's gone on long enough. He's probably okay if it hit a tire, possibly just hit underneath the car. Created a noise that's more or less going to scare him worse than anything.
Pretty much everyone is on the same pitch strategy. The top 11 all came in early in this caution. Lap 57, Dalton Sargent came in, and we saw that extra service that they did. But only 3 laps off of that, he's running in the 12th position.
Yeah, I want to see now, like we've been talking about, the 12 and the 99 being the class of the field, but that 22 showed a lot of speed. I want to see if he's able to hang with these front 2, and then see what kind of adjustments maybe Zane Smith's crew has made to that 41 car. See if he can hang with him as well.
Let's see if anybody jumps the outside on that start like we talked about.
Majeski is the leader on the top side in that black 99 Ford, the 12 Toyota. The white car is on the bottom side. Here we go. Green again from Kansas. Majeski trying to get the start, but it's not a good one. And Creed is easily going to get it, and Zane Smith is going to go around as they bang a little bit in the second and the third row.
Yeah, Haley ran in the back. The 78 of Haley ran in the back of the 41 of Zane Smith. Zane was able to hold on to it. Didn't really lose much momentum. He's going on the high side.
So Sheldon Creed controlled the early portions of this race. The next stint, it was Ty Majeski. Now it's Creed once again. And Shane Lee has something to say, trying to come up the high side. But Majeski's not quite done, and that's Zane Smith running in 3rd position.
Yeah, Shane Lee's not going to waste any time. He's going to just jump to the high side, go up there where they're not running. You see the 12 of Creed moves up the racetrack as well. Now Zane Smith tried to pull on the inside. Looked like a 78 of Justin Haley lost the front end.
We got one in the wall off turn 2. Oh, it's the rookie of the battle. It's Gus Dean.
Uh-oh. He stayed green for the moment. Let's see what kind of pace Dean loses. Does he have to come to pit road? Is he going to lose a lap?
Yep, he's bringing to pit road. He obviously had a flat tire or got loose and got in the wall.
Let's watch again. And the 2 rookies were there together. That's Herbst in the 18 NASCAR in the bottom.
Boy, it almost looked like a tire went down. It didn't blow out, but it looked like it deflated a little bit.
Yeah, he obviously had some kind of mechanical issue. That's kind of a point in the track where he was pointed in the right direction and he must have had a tire go down. That's so unfortunate.
Heather, what do you see?
Well, Gus Dean was just telling his team, I don't know what happened there. The car just let go, and I just went into the wall. So as you can see here, the team's working on that right side to pull the fenders out, change those tires, and try to get that 32 back out on the track as quickly as possible.
Now, the Scott Rookie Challenge does not automatically go to Riley Herbst because he must finish in that point system with drops involved in the top 5 amongst eligible rookies. And he's going to be close. Right now, he runs 9th in the race.
See Tom Majeski trying to chase down Shane Lee for the 2nd spot.
Man, Ty Majeski's got a really strong car. That's 2 restarts in a row where the guy on the outside pole has really struggled to get going. That might be a story if we get a late race restart. Might not want to be the guy on the outside pole.
Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there from Majeski in the middle of turn 2.
And more problems for Gus Dean. Too fast exiting. Well, that's the least of his worries at this point. So he'll have to drive through once again.
We watched them take the right side tires off, and they really didn't look flat to me. So I don't know if he had a mechanical issue over there or not, but he's back down pit road now to serve the penalty.
He was already a couple of laps down. This will put him more. And up front there's Sheldon Creed. But knocking on the door. Won the pole at Kentucky. He's finished 2nd at Des Moines, 3rd at Iowa and Kentucky, 4th at Springfield. Top 8 in all but 2 of his 10 starts this season.
Good battle right there for the 8th spot. Michael Self is Sinclair onboard Chevrolet.
And that's another guy who's been knocking on the door. We thought at Chicagoland he was there, lost a tire late in the race.
He was there. He dominated that race till he lost that tire. See Chad Finley, the 51, working the high side as well. That's Spencer Davis, the 55 car. That's the 7th spot for Spencer Davis. Chad Finley, 8th. Excuse me, 7th. That's 6th and 7th.
Ty Majeski's putting pressure on the 22 of Shane Lee, but like he said earlier, it seems like his car is not very good in traffic. He's struggling to pass guys once he gets to him. He's got a really fast car. He's running right up to him, but it seems like the aero is really disturbing that car once he gets in behind somebody. So we'll see if he tries to go real high here to get around Shane Lee, or keeps trying to dig on this bottom.
That's the battle for 2nd right there. Lee in 2nd. Majeski is going to try to use a pick to get around him and squeeze his way through. Majeski trying to get back to 2nd. Lee's not ready to give it up. They'll continue to race side by side.
That was a great corner that time for Ty Majeski. He's got another lap car. Ooh, just narrowly avoids him. Shane Lee's coming back on the high side.
Great racing for 2nd. Now, while this goes on, Sheldon Creed stretches it out just a little bit more. A 2.5 seconds in front. Majeski's coming right back on the bottom side.
Sheldon Creed is definitely liking seeing this in his mirror as he drives away. Anytime you see the 2nd, 3rd place guys side by side for more than 1 lap, it definitely feels good as a leader.
So we watch those 3 up front, but still, I think we have another 3 or 4 cars that still are in the mix. If there's a caution to bunch them up again. Stay with us from Kansas Speedway for ARCA. Rated mature. Good battle for 8th on the racetrack right now back at Kansas Speedway for the ARCA Racing Series finale. That's the runner-up in the championship in the 77 Big Time Ford. Dalton Sargent is running it right in front of the 55, the Musselman's Big Cup Applesauce Toyota of Spencer Davis. Also want to mention for Dalton Sargent, one of the last championships or awards within the championship has now been clinched. Dalton Sargent wins the Valvoline Lap Leader Award. Austin Terrio was 2nd. Terrio is now out of the race. Sargent led more laps than anyone else this season.
Terrio also clinched the SNS Volvo Laps Completed Award. Even though he's fallen out of this race, he still had completed enough laps to clinch that as well.
So Terrio appeared to lose a tire, and he is out of the race early, but had already wrapped up the championship. Sargent is going to finish 2nd in the championship. Shane Lee is 3rd in points coming in, and he runs 3rd in the race right now. And there's the leader in the United Rentals, white and red, number 12, Sheldon Creed. The 20-year-old is looking for his very first ARCA Racing Series win. He told me today, my goal is to put a package together. I want to run for the championship next year. I want to run all the races next year.
I had a lot of talk in the garage area this morning about a lot of people wanting to run for the championship. They got a great package here with the ARCA Elmore engine and the composite bodies. They're going to have a test coming up at Talladega. Remember, next year they will have composite bodies at Daytona and Talladega. So a lot of good things happening here in this series.
You know, this is the end of the season, but it is a very brief offseason. That test at Talladega is coming up in just a couple of weeks in early November. And then the test at Daytona is the 12th and 13th of January. Before you know it, we'll be racing again at Daytona. I love that event. It's the first big race of the year for oval racing in America. It's the first stock car race, February 10th. And there's Creed up by over a second now. There's a look at what's coming, and don't forget the banquet. My hometown, Indianapolis,
That's
coming
right.
up on December 9th.
That's where the banquet was when I won the championship. We had an awesome time. It's a beautiful area and spend time there. So I know that Austin Terrio and Ken Schrader are going to have a great time that night and being honored for their great year.
Did I see your dad dancing a little bit at that banquet?
I'm sure he danced a lot. We had a lot of fun, needless to say.
Well, we saw Austin Terrio get out of the car after he scrubbed the wall pretty good, and confirmation that he has been checked and released. We'll hear from him probably not until after the race when we officially crown him as the champion.
Yeah, there's a good battle for the 5th position. Justin Haley, the 78, has it, driving for Mason Mitchell. There's Michael Self in the 28.
Seems like Michael Self's really getting comfortable around that high line. He's about the highest on the racetrack right now, and that's where that 28 Sinclair Toyota wants to be.
You mentioned he's coming in with some momentum. He's won his last 2 K&N West Series races.
You know, we talk about this ARCA Ilmor engine. That engine, since it was introduced in 2015, has won every single race here in the ARCA Racing Series. As a matter of fact, one of the engines that Ken Schrader owns has been in the car when they won Daytona, the Super Speedway, a short track at Elko, Minnesota, a dirt race at DuQuoin, Illinois, and a road course race at Road America. The exact same engine has won 4 races this year on 4 completely different kind of racetracks. That's how versatile that engine is.
That's so awesome to hear, especially for these race teams. It gives more opportunities for these young and up-and-coming drivers like we see tonight. It's such a stacked field of guys who are going to have great opportunities going forward in their careers, and that's what you want to see here in the ARCA Series. Such a great development series.
Michael Self just got around Justin Haley for 5th position. Haley's not totally done yet. Keep in mind, this young man, just 18 years old, is trying to win his 4th consecutive ARCA race. Both of them this year, won the last time last year as well. There's another young man, just 18 years old, Zane Smith, who started on the pole, and then we've got one around into the wall, and it's the 10 of Ed Pompa, Andy Hillenberg's team, Fast Track Racing. Pretty significant damage in the back end.
Well, it sure is.
Looks like he took a hard hit there. It'll be interesting to see what happened.
Maybe an opportunity for some of these guys, if they have a set of tires left, to put them on there as Ed drives that damaged car back towards the garage.
You hate to see that in the last 15 laps of the season for Andy's crew guys.
They were in a tight battle with a 34 from Mike Basham for top 15 in owner points, and that doesn't maybe sound like a lot, but there's a lot of awards that go with that, and also awards that carry on throughout next year. And it looks like it's going to be the 34 that will win out in that battle.
There's the tail end of it, and that's the best look we have for Pompa, who was 5 laps down. And unfortunately, he's going to see his night come to a close. Not the way we wanted to see it, but there is the caution that is going to shake things up. The top 2 have tires. Will they give up the track position? Who else might come to pit road? We'll find out. And a restart coming inside the stretch of this race, inside the final 10, is coming up. Let's wait and see if anybody's going to pit when they open up next time by. Creed, Majeski, Lee.
It'll be interesting to see if anybody plays any strategy right here and sees if their car handles better with clean air and maybe takes 2 tires, takes no tires. I think it's going to take a little bit of strategy to get in front of the 99 of Ty Majeski and the 12 of Sheldon Creed.
I think if I'm outside the top 5 right now, I think in I have tires left, I think I come and get them and try to make something happen. But we know we're going to restart probably with about 10 laps to go. Pump those tires up a little bit, put a little more air pressure in them.
What do you do if you're the top 2, though?
I think you give them tires. Those guys have been so fast. You put your last set on and you tell your driver, one-on-one, go beat that guy.
The 99 looks pretty anxious. He's ready to go down, and the 12, Creed, is going to stay out.
Interesting.
Several others up front coming down pit road as well. Heather.
A lot of discussion was happening there for the 99 on whether they would take 4 tires or not, but he did say that they were too tight from the get-go on that last run, so he is still battling tight conditions. It's going to be 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. Jim?
The 41 machine is in. They've actually had the chance to fix it. They were losing time in the 4th place position because the car was way too tight off of turn 2. Track bar up three rounds, changing those tires, getting Zane Smith back out. One thing to keep in mind, ARCA Racing restarts. Lead lap cars are followed immediately in the restart rundown by lead lap cars that pitted. So this is a very good calculated move for these teams. Sheldon Creed's team, who did not pit, said, we want to get a good, fresh restart to hold the rest of the field off. No pitting for the 12.
I like that pit call by Matt Weber with a 99 because he closed it within a second of Sheldon Creed and then really couldn't get any closer, couldn't gain any more.
It looks like, yeah, I was going to say, he lost some spots coming out of pit road.
He stalled it,
a great call. Yeah, he stalled it out right there, and he has
good
lost.
Good pit stop.
Yeah.
He just didn't go.
Yeah, you really got to keep the RPMs up to get out of these places that are bigger with a different gear and second gear.
So we've got a lot of different scenarios going. Sheldon Creed stayed out. He's going to lead him to the restart, but fresh tires right behind him. Caution number 3 in the ARCA Racing Series at Kansas Speedway is going to bring us to a restart inside of 10 laps to go. Buckle up, everybody. I'm Kevin Lee. Phil Parsons is here. Ty Dillon, our special guest in the booth. Heather DeBow and Jim Trado on pit road. So here's the scenario. Top 2 did not pit. Sheldon Creed and Shane Lee. And then after that, we've got fresh General tires. Zane Smith was the first off pit road in that 41.
So important for Sheldon Creed to get out there, good a good jump, get that clean air, and try to maybe use the 22 for a little bit of interference.
Yeah, that's what he's hoping for. He wants to get some clean air on the front of that Toyota and try to stretch the lead before Ty Majeski and Zane Smith, all these guys that are hungry with fresh tires, get to him. But he's also somewhat banking on getting another caution probably with 5 or 6 to go, come and get his next set of tires, and he'll be the guy in the advantage.
Well, we wondered about the decision, whether you come down or not. If you're the leader, Jim, you can go right to the source for the 12.
Crew chief for the 12 is Jeff Stankiewicz, winning a championship here with Grant Enfinger a few years back, but working with this young driver. The speed is there. The questionable call, though, you said, hey, we're staying out. We want that track position. When you saw the other guys come, what do you think then, and what are you thinking now?
I don't think I'm too worried about it. I think it's all going to depend on his restart if he can get going on the older tires. You know, Kentucky, we were in an opposite situation. We had the best car there, fastest car. We pitted, had a bad pit stop, had a lot of caution laps, and we couldn't get around the leader, which we were faster than all day. So it's all going to be about track position. I think if he just gets a good restart and keep it on the bottom, they're still going to have a hard time getting around us because of aero. So it's been pretty important all night. Sheldon's done a really good job with United Rentals on the car tonight. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun.
Jeff's making the call here, also helping Sheldon on these restarts and throughout the races, veteran spotter Lauren Rainier. So Lauren is talking to his young driver about getting a very, very good clean restart like he has 2 other times tonight.
And MDM has been strong all day. They have 3 of the top 6 right now, including the leader, Ty Sheldon Creed, who is going to choose the top side.
Yeah, we talked about the last couple starts. The guy on the outside has struggled, including Sheldon Creed. So obviously it's a feel that he wants to try to get around the top side of Shane Lee, let him hold up the bottom line. He feels like he can beat him on the outside.
The top 3 have not won an ARCA race.
Yeah, keep an eye on Chad Finley there. He's the one that jumped the start earlier. He does have that warning, but like I said, he's starting 4th with 10 to go. I might take another chance. And also Michael Self, his car, you know, it likes the top. So these guys might be trying to jump to the outside here, especially if Sheldon Creed has another slow start.
Really curious about these new tires for these guys because obviously Sheldon Creed, Shane Lee, their tires are hot. Maybe a little bit harder to get going on those hot tires, and those fresh cold tires shouldn't have as much trouble getting going.
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility of spinning the tires on this restart and having a bad start.
At the line, 9 to go in this race and in the season. Several with a legitimate chance at their first career win. Everyone wants to take momentum into the final. Finley from the outside. Creed is slow to get going. Lead down on the bottom. Finley getting a little push. They are 5 wide.
Wow, what a restart.
Still not decided yet.
What a save underneath Michael Self.
And it's Michael Self to the front looking for his first win.
How about Majeski here in a side-by-side battle for second? The 99 on the inside, Chad Finley on the outside.
And you can throw a blanket over the top 9 in this series right now. How exciting is that?
Watch out for Dalton Sargent in the 77. Here he comes running in 4th right now.
Oh, we got somebody somebody scuffed the wall there. It looks like
That was Sheldon Creed got against the outside wall.
And look how far the 12 has fallen back to about 9th position. He's battling with Riley Herbst right now, and he's still losing pace. He's in big trouble, a big wiggle, and he's trying to keep it off the wall, and he's lost a tire.
Probably going to bring a caution flag out here. I saw some rubber fly off that tire.
Oh!
Definitely a lot of debris on the racetrack.
Once again, Sheldon Creed had victory within reach, and it's not going to happen.
We stay green right now.
And we're nearing 6 to go. We will stay green. Self by about 2 car lengths. Up front on Majeski. That's Self in the green and white car.
You can see the debris on the racetrack, and that can cause issues for a lot of race cars. Interesting they're letting this keep going green. You never know what you're going to run over, and you could pop a tire and make this race even more interesting.
Be a great battle here. Michael Self, the 28, has the lead. Remember, as we mentioned, he's won the last 2 times he's been in a car. That was the K&N West Series. As you see the 12 down on pit road, his race is over as far as the contention for the win. But Ty Majeski's not giving up. He's trying to chase down that 28.
Self thought he was there at Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Raceway. Rain factored into that a little bit. Lost a tire at the end after he had dominated Chicagoland. And here, he's not been in the top 4 or 5 all race, but he's been within range, and a great restart finds him back out front. But Ty Majeski has had one of the top 2 strongest cars all night. How hard is that going to be to keep him behind him?
He's been giving him a good try. He's been trying to put his nose down a little bit lower than the 28, trying to get some air down on that nose, but he hasn't seemed to be able to gain any ground once he got to within about 2 car lengths right about there.
You know, everybody pays attention up on the spotter stand. You know, the spotter of Michael Self's telling him to block as much as you can. He's struggling in traffic, as it looks like he's trying to dive low and get some air on that nose. But Michael's doing a great job of trying to keep as much dirty air on the front of that 99 as possible.
Watch the restart. Watch what happens to Creed.
This was about the craziest restart I've seen in a long time. Look at him. Look at the 99 Majeski all the way down to the grass.
What a great race we're having here. And we almost called that with the 12 of Sheldon Creed. He spun his tires, it looked like, and the 28 of Michael Self and Chad Finley were anxious to use that top, just like we talked about as well, creating a wild restart as we got a battle for the lead going again.
Majeski is almost going down to the grass each time around, and on that restart, Self had to withstand a little bit of contact and a little bit of wiggle. Majeski is right there.
I think Self might have to, or Majeski might have to go through the grass to try to get by Self if he's going to do it on the front straightaway.
Yeah, Michael Self's doing a heck of a job, and we got 3 laps to go, so you know he's giving it everything he's got inside that race car. As he seems to pull away a little bit here off turn 4. You know Ty Majeski's going to try to get his car together and make one more big run to the finish.
2 laps remaining, 3 miles, and they're going to have to deal with lap traffic, and that's a battle for 4th back there with the teammates Lee and Sargent going side by side.
Looks like the lap car is going to stay low, and Michael Self's car likes the top anyway, so he's not too worried about having to pass those guys running low.
Yeah, it didn't look like staying out on those hot tires was the ticket. Shane Lee's able to hold on to that 4th spot, but right now Michael Self has opened up about 6-8 car lengths on Majeski with 1 to go.
And he's cleared the last lap car that he's going to see for a while. 1 lap to go in 2017. Michael Self trying to get to victory lane for the first time in ARCA. Ty Majeski has never won in the series. He's trying to pedal and catch back up.
It looks like all Michael Self needed was an opportunity to see the lead, and now he's done a great job holding off one of the fastest cars all weekend, bringing it through 3 and 4 for the last time.
He's been so close so many times. Michael Self, the 26-year-old from Utah, is going to make it happen in the finale in 2017. Michael Self is a winner in the ARCA Racing Series.
What a great finish. What a great restart.
MDM Motorsports wins at Kansas. Michael Self gets it done. Ty Majeski comes home in 2nd. Zane Smith, Shane Lee, Dalton Sargent, Justin Haley, Spencer Davis rounding out the top 7. Then Robaugh, Herbst, and Holmes.
There's Marty Lindley, crew chief for Michael Self. Marty's brought several drivers to victory lane here in the ARCA Series this year.
great for those guys. And to win in that way, I know exactly how that feels. About the same situation that happened when I won my first race here at Kansas Speedway. In the final laps of the race, got a great restart and was able to take the victory lane.
And this is the 5th win for this team this season, MDM, with 5 different drivers.
Yeah, they've done an incredible job. Really great program here. Great to see a first-time winner. This is the 22nd first-time winner we've had since the beginning of the 2015 season. 22 first-time winners.
5 this season. And Ty, you can speak to that. This was your first, not just in this series, but your first big-time win was here.
Yeah, it really was, and just the confidence that comes from winning at a place like Kansas Speedway so fast, and on a weekend where you have the Xfinity Series racing, along with the Monster Energy Cup Series, Michael Self's going to be on a high for all the offseason and looking forward to getting to next year.
Burn it down. And he's won 3 in a row, and you count the 2 K&N West Series wins. Heather, how's the celebration?
The celebration is awesome down here with the team. Smiles on everyone's face, including the crew chief, Marty Lindley. Marty, this is Michael Self's first win here. But that restart, how were your nerves there? Because they went 5 wide. Did you think the 28 was going to be able to make it through that?
Yeah, really, that was just all him. You know, I just want to thank Sinclair, you know, for giving this kid a chance, man. He's awesome. He deserves this. Our car was so awful at the start of this race, and we just kept working and working, and Michael never give up on us, and we made some great changes, and here we are.
Congratulations. Kevin?
Great story. We had so many contenders that would have been equally strong and captivating stories at the finish, but Michael Self is the one that gets it done in a restart for the ages. They went 5 wide. We'll hear from the winner and the champ coming up at Kansas. Back at Kansas Speedway with one we'll be talking about for a while, especially the final restart with 9 laps to go. Watch that 28 Sinclair car coming to the front, right up the middle as they went 5 wide for a moment here at Kansas Speedway.
What an amazing job he did on that restart. Really, really close with the 22 of Shane Lee. Great save by Shane Lee. Watch from his onboard.
That's what you call finding the open hole and taking it.
He started at the outside of the 51 of Chad Finley and decided to go underneath him.
That's a guy that was hungry for a win right there, and he didn't let anything stop him.
What a story. A first-time winner again in the ARCA Racing Series. Michael Self climbs out to celebrate here at Kansas, and Heather DeBow is there to greet him.
Michael Self with another win. First time here in the ARCA Series, getting some hugs from his team. This means a lot to him to also have Sinclair on the car. Michael, victory lane once again. 3 races in a row, even though 2 of those were in the K&N Series, but you've been fighting your car all day. It kind of was all over the place, as your crew chief Marty Lindy said. How tough was that race to keep that car up front?
That was probably the hardest ARCA race I've ever run right there. I mean, we fought all day. We just couldn't get balance in the 28 Sinclair Chevy. I mean, one time we were loose and we were tight and then loose again, and started off wicked loose, fell way back, and you know, Marty Lindley and these 28 Sinclair guys just kept making changes and kept believing in me and just kept fighting strong, and that's what these guys do. I mean, we should have won Lucas Oil earlier this year that way, and we finally got this one tonight. I mean, it's just been so much hard work in the ARCA Series this year. It's been insane. I mean, every time we've driven this Sinclair car here, we've been fast. We've had a shot to win. We had a 3-second lead at Chicago, blew right front, and to everyone that's been a part of this year, especially Sinclair Oil, everyone back home in Salt Lake City, my amazing wife, Dana, my dad, Mike, all these guys at MDM Motorsports, everyone at Mason Mitchell Motorsports who let me drive their car this year and had good runs there. I can't thank everyone enough. And in the season like this, you know, we got one more K&N race to go, and if we can go make it 4 in a row, that'd be unbelievable.
We have to go back to that final restart. You guys were 5 wide at one point. What did you see from your seat, and how nerve-wracking was it?
I saw a little bit of clean air, and I wasn't about to give that up. I mean, I knew it was going to get hairy, and I got kind of bounced around the middle there a little bit, and I just kept my foot in it. Just stayed wooded to the floor and just kind of trusted that the car was going to cut and roll through there, and it did. And when I came out clear, I mean, I think that was the first time I've actually like yelled out loud in my helmet to myself about how fast I needed to go and how bad I wanted to win. And so once we got the clean air, I mean, the 99, he put on a ton of pressure there, and it was just all about hitting the marks. My spotter, Derek Nealand, helped me a massive amount today. He's helped me so much all year and helped us with this Sinclair program, giving us, giving me the ability to drive the car fast and get better and better every race. And that's what he did tonight, and he helped guide me to that win. So it was pretty awesome.
Congratulations. We'll send it over to Jim with second place.
Putting that pressure on, that race winner, Michael Self, is Ty Majeski, who joins us here on pit road. You saw the restart. We just showed our race winner. What was the difference for you coming from 7th in that awesome run to get in position to win?
Yeah, just timing. These restarts are all about timing, especially with the ARCA rules, the way they're written. You can really set yourself up for runs and make things happen on restarts. And we were able to make up for a mistake that I made on pit road. We lost some track position, and we were able to get some of that back on the restart. But I felt like if that mistake wouldn't have happened, we'd have been in a better position for that last restart. So just a bummer. We had a really good car. I felt like the 12 was a little bit better in the long run. We were a little bit better on the short run. Clean air is king here, and I gave that up a couple times, once on restart, once on pit road. So obviously disappointed in that, but we had a really strong run today. I can't thank Matt Weber and all the guys, Ken Schrader Racing, Briggs Cunningham, everybody at Cunningham Motorsports, and all the guys back at the shop at Roush Fenway. Really wish we could have finished that one off. Man, we've been so close this year. It's so many strong runs. Just disappointed in the outcome. I guess that's a good thing when you're disappointed with second. But also Trios for coming on board these last 3 races. It's been a pleasure having them all the way from my late model ranks and now in the ARCA Racing Series.
Jugman has a bright future ahead of him. Just 5 opportunities here in the ARCA Racing Series this year. He finished top 7 in all of those, and a narrow victory escapes him here tonight. Ty Majeski comes home second.
Part of the NASCAR Next class, and he was impressive many times this season, including tonight. Here are the final results. What a way to finish the season.
Yeah, sure was. Zane Smith, our pole sitter, ends up with a 3rd place finish. Shane Lee did a great job there holding off those guys with fresher tires and finishing 4th.
Dalton Sargent was making a lot of adjustments on that car all night tonight and ended up with a top 5, so that's a great battle for those guys.
Finally, Justin Haley doesn't win. Still had a pretty good day, but he was looking for his 4th straight win. Still had a good run today to come home in 6th. Natalie Decker announced today as full-time next season with Venturini. Finishes best, not on the lead lap, comes home in 12th position.
Cole Rouse makes his 2nd start here in the ARCA Racing Series and finishes 13th.
So there's the full 26-car field, and 2 of the final 3 races, a wild restart. Remember Christopher Bell's win at Chicagoland, equally impressive. Here tonight, it's Michael Self, the winner from Kansas. Michael Self was the man of the night at Kansas Speedway, but Austin Theriault, the man of the year, the 2017 ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards, champion with 7 wins.
He won on all sorts of racetracks, on a road course, a super speedway, short tracks, dirt tracks. There's another guy right there that's won on all sorts of racetracks. Kenny Schrader is car owner.
Well, let's go down and hear from the new ARCA champion. Heather DeBow is there with Austin Theriault.
That's right, here with Austin Theriault and his team owner, Ken Schrader, champion 2017 for the ARCA Racing Series. Tonight didn't end the way you wanted it to. Not a good ending to your dream season. However, there had to be some defining moments this year. So what were those for you?
Just the fact that we were able to overcome a lot of challenges. Man, this is amazing. We've kind of been down the past half hour, but to be honest, just looking at the trophy and the guys back here, it pumps us right back up. We've had a tremendous year. And I thank so many people, and the Schraders and the Cunninghams and Donnie Richardson. I could name them one by one. I'll try to do it at the banquet, but tonight's about them and what we've been able to accomplish, and it's just been tremendous. And the support back home and the people that have followed us all year. It wasn't the night we wanted, but man, this is pretty cool. So it's exciting.
Now we have Ron Drager here with ARCA. He's going to present you with the 2017 championship trophy. Ron?
Austin, on behalf of all the ARCA members and all the fans and sponsors and all the racers, congratulations on the 2017 ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards National Championship. Car owner Ken Schrader, driver Austin Theriault, congratulations.
Well, thanks. It's amazing. You've done a lot for the series and the officials, everybody that dedicates their weekends to let us entertain fans. And I've learned a lot as a driver all season, and knowing that we have people like you and officials, it's fun to come to the racetrack. So thanks again.
Congratulations.
Now we're going to bring in the team owner here, Ken Schrader. Come on over. Ken, I have to ask you. Let him hold it. That is a heavy trophy. Ken, I have to ask you, at what point in the season did you know you were going to win the championship with this guy?
We didn't know we were going to win it until after we left the last race, you know. But about 4 beers after the victory at Daytona, we felt pretty good about it, and he's just done a phenomenal job all year. And we had a lot of good sponsors. We got to thank, like everybody, but the guys, they worked their butt off. And Austin was there with them all the time, and they pulled a lot of all-nighters, but it was to get better. It wasn't just to get to the next race, so they did it.
Well, congratulations again to the both of you and your entire team. 2017 ARCA Racing champions right here at Kansas Speedway, finishing off their season. Guys?
That is great, Heather. Congratulations to Austin. And any show that includes Ken Schrader is a good show. I love that man.
We knew when he had a chance right after the race in Daytona, they had a chance for the championship.
What a story. Austin's first full season in the ARCA Racing Series. He wasn't running for rookie points this year. He won a race back in 2014. But the Scott Rookie Challenge went down to the final race. Gus Dean came in with a 2-point advantage, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to get to the end and on the lead lap. So Riley Herbst, the 18-year-old, gets it done, and Jim is with him.
And his 10th top 10 in 19 races this year must be the sweetest for you, Riley. Congrats on winning the Rookie of the Year by points. It was a tough race out there. You guys made a lot of adjustments. What did you learn tonight that will help you on your return to ARCA next year as the Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, these Joe Gibbs Racing guys worked on this car all night long. We definitely didn't start where we wanted to, but as I said in the media center today, that's our MO this year. We haven't qualified that good, but at the end of the race, we've been up front, and that's what we did, and then we dialed ourselves out there a little bit on a pit stop, but we got back to where we needed to, and we just couldn't capitalize on that restart right there.
The performance this year, though, this is an opportunity for you at 18 years of age to get the bigger tracks, radial tires, race where the NASCAR Cup Series are on race weekends with a veteran crew chief, Shannon Rush. What are some of your takeaways this year?
It's just big learning. Next year, we're definitely coming back. We're going to run the full season because I'll be of age to run Daytona. We're going to run for a championship. Hopefully, we'll be right over there hoisting that big championship trophy next year, and that's the plan. But I just can't thank everybody from NOS Energy Drink, Terrible Herbst, UFC Gym. We had my hometown with me on my car this weekend, #Vegas Strong. So it was cool to have my town and my city represented on the back of my car. But we're hungry. 2018 starts now.
Riley Herbst finishes 9th tonight and wins it in dramatic fashion. Takes the point lead in the final race to win Rookie of the Year for the Scott Rookie Challenge.
And good to hear he's planning on being back next season. We'll see Joe Gibbs racing back for year number 2 in ARCA as well. Riley Herbst wins the Scott Rookie Challenge. Austin Theriault is the 2017 champ. Stay with us. There's more to come from Kansas. Michael Self was the first-time winner at Kansas tonight, but back in 2010, it was our guest in the booth, Ty Dillon, winning for the very first time in the ARCA Racing Series, presented by Menards. What did that do for you?
Man, that win right there meant a lot for me. It was a huge confidence booster to come into a place like Kansas Speedway, get my first win, and it really propelled us into the next season, running for a championship and ended up winning the championship the next year. But the confidence that came with that was unbelievable and has really helped me get to where I am today.
Ty, had you guys already decided to run for the championship next year, or did that win have a lot to do with that?
The plans had started, but getting the win really propelled it in the right direction. So wins can mean a lot for careers, and Michael Self got a big one tonight.
Well, he was a teenager at the time, winning in the ARCA Racing Series. Another teenager had a pretty good run tonight, is downstairs with Jim.
18 years of age, this young man just pocketed his 7th top 5 finish in just 16 ARCA starts. Zane Smith, you started on the pole, came to 3rd at the end, but there was a lot going on in between there.
Oh, yeah, man. Came from back to the front. I lost count of how many times, but cannot thank all these guys enough at MDM Motorsports. Congrats to 28, Marty, that whole entire team, man. They deserve it. They work really hard, and so the rest of these guys. But hopefully I could eventually get a win in this series, but for now, just cannot thank Icon, Vehicle Dynamics, La Paz Margarita Mix, KMC Wheels, Speed Vegas. Man, I had a lot of family here, basically all my sponsors here. Hopefully, I wish I could have topped it off with a win, but man, hopefully I'll get a few more opportunities. But just for now, thank you to those guys for everything they've always done for me.
3rd place finisher Zane Smith, the current NASCAR Next driver. Heather?
Finishing second in the rookie battle, and 15th tonight is Gus Dean. Gus, it seemed like you struggled with your race car throughout the race. Can you talk a little bit about what exactly you were battling?
We were struggling pretty hard there. It was a good qualifying effort for us. I don't know if it was just the track temperature that really got us, but the car changed pretty drastically from qualifying to the race, and really struggled with getting it to turn. Had to come out of the throttle pretty hard through the corners, letting a lot of cars get by us there. Came down pit road a couple times, and I think that last run we kind of got it corrected. It was going to go, and then I don't know if I got into some oil or some trash or if they just let go, but it honestly felt like I blew right front until I got on the backstretch. I felt all four of them were still up, so it is what it is. You know, we still had a good day. You know, it definitely wasn't the weekend we wanted to finish the year on, but I'm so proud of this Greer Racing team. We've done an awesome job all year. They've been consistent. I can't thank the good people at Greer enough for giving me a full season in ARCA. It's been a blast. It's been an adventure, and can't wait to come back next year.
That's Gus Dean finishing up 15th. Jim?
Second in points and fifth across the stripe. A driver who I believe was side by side all night long in that number 77 Big Time Ford. Dalton Sargent, what did you learn tonight with all that racing going on?
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty crazy race. You know, we had a pretty decent 77 Big Time Ford, but at the end of the day, we did struggle with the car a little bit, and you know, really all day long, just trying to get it better all throughout practice and qualifying as well as the race. So we pretty much threw everything at it, and we were able to come home with a solid top 5 finish to you know, round out the year. So happy about that, but at the end of the day, we would have liked to go out on top. So, but at the end of the day, I just got to thank all my guys at Cunningham Motorsports for working on this car all year long, bringing, you know, just absolutely amazing race cars to the racetrack each and every weekend. So, hats off to those guys, Briggs and Beth Cunningham, for allowing me to drive these race cars. It's just been an absolute honor as well as a pleasure. So, thank you to them, and you know, all the guys at General Tire brought great tires this weekend. So, really all around, it was a good, positive overall weekend, and learned a lot.
Very solid run for Dalton Sargent. The 19-year-old comes home 5th tonight.
And 3 more wins this season helps him finish second in the championship behind Maine's Austin Theriault, who wins it. Shane Lee had to hang on, needed a result, and got one to finish 3rd.
Yeah, Gus Dean unfortunately didn't win the Rookie of the Year, but still had a great point finish in 4th.
And we'll see a lot of these drivers coming back to compete for a championship again in 2018.